Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm very excited about our next guest, and I'm really excited about what she's doing with her music right now. So let's welcome to the show, Tracy Bonham. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great.
So I really love the idea of refreshing your debut album. It's so funny, too, because I was just doing coverage at a festival over in Europe, and I was talking to a band about this, not yours specifically, but in general, of like when you become a more evolved artist and later on that maybe the stuff you wrote when you were younger doesn't apply the same way. So it's kind of cool that you're taking something and bringing it to the here and now.
This is exactly what I needed to hear, because, you know, there are some days when I think, why would I want to go back? You know, sometimes I worry I'm not, I don't put out original music right now, but it's, I agree with you. It's pretty cool. And the freshing up is really fun and it's full circle. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, first, let's start with, when did you come up with the idea to do this, and what was your purpose?
Okay. Lately, I've been working with strings a lot, arranging for string quartet. My last album that came out in 2025 had strings all over the place. And, it was just a discussion I had with someone that it would be really cool to make string arrangements of The Burdens of Being Upright songs. And so it started like that. I thought, yeah, I'll just do that. And then, of course, as I'm in the studio, it morphed into more than just string arrangements. Now there's a full band, but at least it has strings as a vital element.
That's very cool. And so, like, how does it feel like recording it now compared to back then? What's the differences for you?
I am much, much older and my joints hurt. But other than that, I just feel like, the songs are about grappling with, who am I in this world and who am I to other people, relationships. It's really the same conundrum, but being 30 years older, there's such a wonderful wisdom that comes with it, where I'm actually just more connected with myself and not worrying about the external world.
Yeah.
Like when we're younger, it's, I don't know about you, but I was constantly worried about what other people thought of me, and getting into the minds of other people, it's just a waste of time. So it's really wonderful just to make art because it feels good and I feel more like I'm myself than ever. And I'm evolved, which is a wonderful thing to be, despite my body being in pain.
Well, listen, to your point, I have this philosophy on what people like to call midlife crisis. Okay. I don't know why everything has to be a crisis, but right. I think it's actually not a crisis at all. The exact opposite. It's the end of the crisis, because,
oh, wow.
Like when you're a teenager, you are anti-society, anti-authority, anti your parents, and then your friends are your biggest influence. And then when you become a young adult, it kind of switches then, because now you have to prove that you're no longer a kid. And now you are more trying to like fit in with society. But both times they're partially you, but they're never fully you.
Right.
So when you get older to what they call midlife crisis, you finally figure out who you are, how to commingle that teenage you and adult you, and to not give a crap what anybody else thinks except yourself.
That's awesome. So you're right. I think the word crisis is it's really from a younger person's judgmental perspective. It's so right. And it's so good to let go of that, like that young Tracy would judge her teachers or, would judge other bands and compete. And that's just a lot of, that's a little crap anyway. And now when you love yourself more, you don't have to compare. You don't have to look at it like that. It's so great.
And especially in music, because you're so right with what you're saying. So many artists, when they're making music when they're younger, they have this judgment from everybody, including the fans. Like if you're like one of their original fans, you get judgy when they get bigger because they sell out and they're posers and all that stuff. And the gatekeeping in the music industry, which is thankfully getting better, I think,
Looser,
yeah, so that like an artist can just be themselves. Like there's so many artists that want like play different things, evolve, experiment, try different things, and it's like, no, you can't do that. But you should be able to do that because you're the artist, okay? It should be just fun and creativity. It shouldn't be, oh, I have to make this song for these people.
Yes, I mean it's really the ironic thing is it's all about expression, right? But it's true. You feel so guarded and worried about what the record label thinks or your past fans. It's so inhibiting until boom, the lid comes off, and that's where I'm at right now. It's so great. It's so fun.
It makes the industry a lot more fun nowadays, right?
Correct.
Because then you could just be you, and you could just have fun. And so to me, it must have been totally more fun to record this now than back then.
Yeah, it definitely also helps that these songs are tried and true and that people like them. So I don't have to wonder, if, on the first listen, if anyone responds to it or not. So there's a little bit of, I can relax in that, but it's really fun to give it new perspective, new sound, new life. Some sound really different. And there's a couple songs that I think are the best they've ever been.
See, and I love that last part there because there's also artists that they will redo a song because they thought that their voice was terrible back then because they were just beginning. And so now that they have a better voice, it's funny because I use this a lot. James Hetfield of Metallica, one of their songs plays at the hockey at the hockey games for the Sharks. And then he's like, I don't know why they play my original version. I know how to sing now. I didn't know how to sing then.
Okay, hilarious.
Right? So I think it's something like you're not getting rid of the old version. You're just enhancing and making better, just like you would update your computer.
Right. I mean, but there is a certain nostalgia, you never want to diss anyone for loving the original, because I know it's a time and a place. I have albums like that too, where I can remember exactly where I was or the car I was driving when I had it blasting. So there's something to be said that's like your own experience, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Totally. And that's why I say also you keep the original, you're just enhancing it. It's not like you're making something different out of it. So you still have the nostalgia, but then you have more to add to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think really when I ask myself, which is daily now, why am I doing this again? The big reason is this conversation or these conversations that I'm having about it. It's, everybody's wondering, how many albums will I sell? I don't know, how many streams will I get? I don't know. No one knows anymore. So in a way that's like secondary, but it's the conversations we're having and then also the live performance of it. And then really those fans that come to the shows and want to buy a vinyl. I feel like those are the main reasons why I'm doing this. And I think for me, it's healing. It's completely, coming around and addressing some things that I've been grappling with 30 years, ever since, the scream of mother that was heard around the world. I've been grappling with that forever. So the conversation about it now is really like the most interesting part for me.
I love that. And yeah, you are hitting the road. So how does that feel, hitting the road, celebrating the 30th anniversary? That it kind of blows my mind how quick life goes.
Yeah, truly. I know you look back and you think, oh my God, that was just yesterday. But I love performing, and I'm very excited to be out on the road. And I've got, I'm really lucky to know these amazing players in many of the towns I've gone to, or many of the regions. And so I like play with local players, local string players, things like that. And it just makes everything so interesting.
That is pretty cool, right? So, and then you give that like local flavor wherever you're playing.
Yeah, it's true.
So is there anything else that you want to tell the listeners about in regards to this, or anything else going on for you?
Well, sure. So I'm actually in the mastering studio right now as we speak. Nice. And so the album's being mastered today. It's coming out on American Laundromat Records, which is a great indie label. And that's going to be released in November. So it's within the 30th year, which I'm very happy about. And then, just from then, it's just shows and more shows into the new year. And all the shows can be maybe, some of them are different. Like in Seattle, I'll be playing with just a string quartet, but then in Eugene, I'll be playing with rock band and string quartet. In Boston, rock band, so I think it feels a little schizophrenic at times, but it's still got the same fire and consistency, and the songs really stand up.
And see, I like that anyway, because it's kind of like, if you go to a lot of shows in a year and it's the same one over and over, it gets boring. But when you do it the way you're doing, it's kind of like the Grateful Dead. That's why people followed them around, because you never knew what you were going to get.
Right. Every show is so unique. So yeah, maybe I'll start to have like Bonham heads following me around.
That would be cool. See, that's the reason, another reason for doing this right there.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for, first of all, refreshing this and bringing it back, but not only the nostalgia, but make it even more you now today.
Thank
you. Thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Hey, this is Tracy Bonham, and you're listening to The Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.